Stop being nice to women, do this instead. Old Stoic wisdom. Welcome to our channel. It's Stoicismwin, where you'll find insightful and practical knowledge from Stoic philosophers to help you lead a happier and more meaningful life. Have you ever considered that being too nice might be standing in the way of your relationships? Today, we'll dive into the nice guy dilemma, a situation where men, thinking they are the ideal partners, often fall short of what truly matters in healthy relationships. Many men pride themselves on being kind and agreeable, believing that these qualities are all it takes to win a woman's heart. But is this really the case? Or could this mindset be backfiring? Drawing on the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, we'll challenge the notion that simply being nice is enough. Stoicism, with its emphasis on wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation, offers a fresh perspective on how to approach your relationships. The Stoic way teaches that while kindness is valuable, it should be balanced with integrity and self-respect, qualities that resonate far more deeply than mere pleasantries. In this video, we'll explore how being excessively agreeable can sometimes lead to a lack of genuine connection and respect. By incorporating Stoic principles into your interactions, you can shift from simply being nice to becoming wise, just, and truly authentic. This transformation will not only improve your relationships, but also align you more closely with your core values, bringing you greater fulfillment in life. So whether you found yourself overlooked despite your kindness, or you're curious about deepening your interpersonal dynamics with Stoicism, this video is for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe for more wisdom-packed content, and share with friends who could benefit from this Stoic approach to relationships. Let's get started. 1. Being nice isn't everything. Stop being nice to women and start embracing the power of Stoic wisdom to build a true iron mind. Many men, especially those over 35, fall into the trap of thinking that being nice alone will lead to romantic success. This belief, while coming from a good place, is often misguided and can leave you feeling frustrated and disappointed. The truth is, kindness, while an admirable quality, does not guarantee romantic interest. You must understand this. Kindness should be practiced not with the hope of receiving something in return, but because it is virtuous in itself. Stoic principles teach us to act virtuously, regardless of the outcome. Nice guys often assume that they're well, meaning actions will automatically translate into attraction. But it doesn't work that way. If your primary focus is on being nice, you might even push women away because they'll see you as a friend or a safe option, rather than a man who sparks romantic tension. That's where the iron mind comes in. To build genuine attraction, you need more than just the niceness card. You need to embody confidence, assertiveness, and a sense of purpose. These qualities are what make you truly appealing, not your constant attempts to please. Being a Stoic man means being emotionally strong and self-sufficient, not relying on the whims of others to define your worth. If you only show kindness to win someone over, you're not acting from a place of true virtue, but of expectation. And that's a dangerous game. When you act with an agenda, women can sense it. They don't find it charming. They find it manipulative. True Stoicism teaches us to pursue goodness for its own sake, not because we expect something in return. Your actions should reflect integrity, not a hidden strategy. So stop being nice with the hope that it will unlock romance. This is where many nice guys fail. They do things for women in hopes of earning affection, but they miss the key component. Attraction doesn't work that way. Women can't be won over by gestures alone. Think about it. If you're always doing favors for her, whether it's buying her coffee or helping with her work, but never showing any romantic interest or expressing your own desires, she's never going to see you as anything more than a friend. But when you combine kindness with confidence, you're signaling that you're a man of action, not just a doormat. Make your intentions clear without being pushy, and you'll create the opportunity for a deeper connection. If you want to truly embody Stoic wisdom, don't just act out of kindness. Lead with strength, assert your desires, and stop waiting for rewards. Remember, you're not doing this to manipulate or coerce affection. You're doing it to build your character, becoming the kind of man who naturally attracts respect and love. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." In other words, don't overthink it. Just be virtuous and stop expecting your actions to be a means to an end. Being nice alone will not earn you a woman's heart. If you're constantly trying to win her over with niceties and gestures, you're missing the mark. To build meaningful relationships, focus on becoming a well-rounded individual. Develop an iron mind by practicing Stoic principles. Be confident, assertive, and purposeful, and make your intentions clear. When you live this way, your kindness will be genuine, and the connections you form will be stronger and more fulfilling. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that kindness alone is enough. Be the man who acts with virtue for its own sake. When you do, the right woman will notice. 2. Don't hide who you are. Stop pretending to be someone you're not. Stop trying to please everyone. The truth is, being nice often leads men into a trap where they suppress their true selves, particularly around women. Nice guys sometimes think that if they just follow the formula of being agreeable, selfless, and accommodating, they'll win her heart. It sounds innocent enough, but it's a mistake that goes against everything Stoic principles stand for. You have to embrace who you are, every quirk, every flaw, and every strength. You see, Stoic rules aren't about appeasing others or being inauthentic to gain approval. They're about living in accordance with your true nature, standing firm in your beliefs, and cultivating an honest, unfiltered life. Marcus Aurelius, a prime example of the Old Stoic, constantly reminded himself and others that true self-respect comes from living authentically, regardless of external opinions. As he wrote in Meditations, "Never esteem anything as of advantage to you that will make you break your word or lose yourself. Respect. You must live by this code." Think about this. When you're with your friends, you're free. There's no pretension, no hidden agenda. You're just you, unfiltered, confident, and real. You crack jokes, share stories, and the conversation flows without effort. You don't worry about impressing anyone. You're just being yourself. This is the essence of who you are. Women find that confidence and authenticity magnetic. They're attracted to the guy who can laugh at himself, speak his mind, and not be afraid of taking the spotlight. But when you step into a date situation, something shifts, doesn't it? Suddenly, you start overthinking. You try too hard to play the good guy. You hide your true self, trying to avoid anything that might be deemed selfish or too bold. That's the moment it all goes wrong. You have to remember that women can spot inauthenticity from a mile away. They're not fooled by someone who is trying too hard to be the perfect man. They're looking for someone who is real, someone who doesn't hide behind false pretenses. This isn't just a theory, it's human nature. The more you suppress who you are, the more exhausting it becomes, and the more you create a dynamic where the person on the other side of the conversation feels disconnected from you. The key takeaway here is this: don't hide your true self. If you want to build a genuine connection with anyone, you must be unapologetically you. Trying to be something you're not is draining and ultimately unsustainable. There's nothing worse than pretending, because the mask will eventually slip, and when it does, the truth will come out. You might be thinking, but if I'm just myself, what if she doesn't like me? Well, that's the point. If she doesn't appreciate you for who you are, if she doesn't admire your quirks, your passions, and your personality, then it's not meant to be. But here's the thing. By being true to yourself, you attract the right people, the ones who genuinely connect with you on a deeper level. It's far better to find someone who appreciates the real you than to waste time pretending to be someone you're not. Marcus Aurelius also shared wisdom on the importance of aligning your actions with your true self. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. In this case, The enemy is the false, nice guy image that society often pushes on men. To rise above it, you must stop playing games. You must stop sacrificing your principles to please someone else. Instead, embrace your individuality and remain steadfast in your authenticity. This is where true strength lies. Remember this: being yourself isn't just more attractive, it's also more sustainable. The effort it takes to maintain a facade is exhausting, but when you live as your true self, you'll find yourself in relationships that are far more fulfilling and lasting. It's a simple equation: authenticity equals connection. So don't hide who you are. Be unapologetically you and let the rest follow. That is the power of Stoicism. The old Stoic philosophers knew it, and it's time you embraced it too. Stay true to your principles, and in doing so, you will attract those who are aligned with your path. It's the only way to live a life of integrity, purpose, and genuine connection. Stick with me, because this is just the beginning. We're moving forward with even more powerful tactics to leave a lasting impact on their minds. Get ready for the next move, one that deepens their connection to you in ways they can't ignore. If you are ready, comment, "Let's go, let's move forward." 3. Don't just wait for a chance. Stop waiting for a chance to come your way. You must take action now. Waiting for someone else to make the move is not how winners operate. The mistake many men make is letting women take the lead, waiting for them to notice, hoping they'll take the first step. This passive approach is exactly what keeps you stuck in the same spot. You don't get what you want by sitting on the sidelines. You don't get what you want by hoping someone else will decide your fate. You get what you want by taking the initiative. Confidence is your most powerful ally. It's not about being aggressive, it's about being assertive. You show interest, you take charge, and you act decisively. And in that action, you create the opportunity. When you stop waiting and take control, you instantly become more attractive because you're showing the kind of strength women respect and desire. Too many men let fear of rejection keep them passive. They worry, "What if she doesn't like me?" They sit back, paralyzed by uncertainty, not realizing that inaction is the real enemy. You cannot let fear dictate your life. As Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher, said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." You are the one in charge of your actions, and only your actions can lead you to success. You must take responsibility. When you wait for a woman to make the first move, you're handing over control of your life, your destiny, to someone else. That is a weakness. Instead, step up. Lead your life with strength, with conviction. Take the initiative. Walk into any situation, whether it's a party or a casual gathering, with the intention to act. Approach her, introduce yourself, and start a conversation. Don't wait for her to notice you. Make yourself noticed. If she responds positively, great. If not, you still win because you took action. The Stoics teach us that we control only our actions, not the outcomes. You can't control how she will respond, but you can control whether or not you take that first step. That is power. Taking the initiative is one of the most crucial lessons of Stoic philosophy. By doing so, you practice courage, self-reliance, and resilience. Every time you take action, you are strengthening your resolve. Each time you step forward, even in the face of rejection, you reinforce your belief in yourself. This is how you grow. You must embrace discomfort. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or the right conditions. It's about acting in the present. The Stoics knew that life is unpredictable. They didn't wait for the world to hand them opportunities. They created their own. This applies to every part of your life, not just dating. By taking initiative in one area, you begin to take charge in all areas. You begin to take control of your destiny. Don't fall into the trap of being a nice guy who is passive and avoids taking risks. Being a nice guy doesn't mean being weak or indecisive. It means being respectful, being kind, but also being strong and assertive when it comes to your own life. Stop letting fear paralyze you. Stop waiting for someone else to take charge of your happiness. You have the power to create your own opportunities. In every situation, make your move. Think about it. If you're always waiting for a chance to come, you're wasting valuable time. This is your life. and it's happening now. Don't let it pass you by while you wait for something or someone to act on your behalf. Take action. Step up and take control. You are in charge of your own life, and that means no more waiting for someone else to make decisions for you. You must act, even if you're uncertain about the outcome. Life isn't about waiting for things to fall into your lap. It's about making things happen. When you take action, you take control. You embody the Stoic principle of self-reliance. Even when things don't go the way you expect, you will be stronger because you acted. You will be wiser. Living a Stoic life means living with courage, with conviction, and with clarity. It's about taking charge, not waiting for someone else to lead. As Epictetus teaches, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. When you take action, you are focused on what you can control, your own behavior. You take responsibility for yourself and your actions. That is freedom. That is the true power. You must live by these principles every day. The next time you find yourself in a social setting, do not hesitate. Approach her. Talk to her. Be the man who takes control of the situation. Don't just hope she notices you, make sure she does. Even if she rejects you, you will have taken action, and that is always the victory. It's not about the outcome. It's about mastering yourself and your actions. By doing this, you'll live a life of integrity and strength. You'll be the kind of man who wins in all areas of life. So don't wait. Take the lead, act decisively, and embrace the power of Stoicism. You're in control of your path. You are the one who creates your own opportunities. Take them. Embrace the challenge. Win. This is the Stoic way, and this is how you truly live. 4. Embrace discomfort and face rejection with grace. Stop being nice to women and start embracing the old Stoic wisdom that's been tried and tested for centuries. Too many men especially, those between the ages of 30 and 70, fall into the trap of constantly seeking approval, tiptoeing around their own desires, and avoiding any form of discomfort. Why? Because they fear rejection. But here's the bitter truth. Avoiding rejection doesn't make you stronger. It weakens you. It's time to face rejection with grace and embrace discomfort, because that's where the real growth happens. Old Stoic wisdom teaches us that rejection is simply part of the journey, not the end of it. In fact, it's an opportunity to strengthen your iron mind, to test your resilience, and to prove that your self-worth isn't defined by someone else's opinion. You see, the nice guy mentality may seem harmless, but in reality, it cripples your ability to live authentically. You hold back your feelings, avoid the truth, and stay passive out of fear that rejection might follow. The Stoics, on the other hand, saw the world as something beyond their control, yet they understood the importance of controlling their reactions to it. Life will always throw challenges your way, but how you respond to those challenges is what truly matters. When Marcus Aurelius wrote about self-mastery, he wasn't just talking about overcoming external struggles. He was talking about how to maintain an unshakable composure no matter what life throws at you. His teachings remind us that our power lies in our ability to manage our own minds and perspectives. That means if you face rejection, you don't crumble, you stand tall, learn from it, and keep moving forward. Now, this isn't just some high-minded philosophical idea. It's a principle you can apply to your life. Imagine walking into a room full of potential, but the thought of rejection makes you freeze up. The Stoics would tell you that instead of avoiding that discomfort, you must lean into it. In doing so, you show the world that you're not reliant on external validation to know your worth. Your value doesn't change because someone didn't reciprocate your feelings. You are the one who defines your own worth. By embracing discomfort and rejection, you are testing your resilience, building a stronger character, and becoming someone who is truly attractive, not because you're nice, but because you are composed, resilient, and unshakable. So here's the key. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't shy away from expressing your desires, even if it means facing the risk of rejection. That's the first step toward developing an iron mind, a mind that is immune to the whims of external circumstances. Rejection isn't a reflection of your value. It's merely a bump in the road, one that makes you stronger as you face it head-on. Don't let fear control you. Face rejection with grace, learn from it, and keep moving forward. That is what true strength looks like. You must cultivate this Stoic principle in every aspect of your life, not just in relationships. Life is full of setbacks, but how you respond to them will determine your future. So go ahead, embrace the discomfort, face the rejection, and let the iron mind of Stoicism guide you to true freedom and inner strength. And if you find today's content very interesting, please give me a word of encouragement by commenting "very interesting" in the comments section. That is a huge motivation for us. Thank you. 5. Focus on self-improvement. Stop being nice to women. Do this instead. This might sound harsh at first, but it comes straight from the vault of Old Stoic wisdom. Men, you're not here to please anyone. You're not here to be the clown in a circus, bending over backward to win approval. Instead, focus on yourself, on your growth, your development, your inner strength. As the Stoics have taught us for centuries, your worth doesn't come from what others think of you. It comes from what you think of yourself. One of the cornerstones of Stoic philosophy is self-discipline, the commitment to becoming better every day. The Stoic rules are clear. Take control of your own mind and actions. Don't let others dictate who you are or how you should behave. Stoicism teaches you to control your desires, to focus inward, and to pursue personal growth relentlessly. This is the foundation for all true strength. Shift your focus. Inward, not outward. Stop worrying about what others think of you. Stop seeking approval from the world. The moment you start living for others, you abandon your own self-worth. It's time to flip the script. Instead of focusing on how women or anyone else perceives you, turn that energy inward. Invest in yourself. Don't just waste time worrying about your external image. This isn't about performing a role. It's about living authentically. You need to become the kind of person who doesn't wait for validation. Instead, you should validate yourself through your own growth. Pursue your passions, whether it's learning a new skill, refining your talents, improving your physical health, or developing your emotional intelligence. These are the pursuits that matter. Self-improvement, real self-improvement, is something no one can take away from you. When you work on yourself, when you get better, everything else falls into place. The power of self-sufficiency. There's a certain magic that comes with focusing on your own growth. Not only do you become more attractive to others, but you also become more confident and self-sufficient. You no longer need external validation. You've cultivated something far more important, inner strength and peace. In the words of the Stoic philosophers, the greatest wealth is to live content with little. This doesn't just refer to material wealth, it applies to emotional and mental wealth too. The more you develop yourself, the less you need from others. You're no longer looking to others for approval or guidance. You trust your own judgment. You know who you are, and that makes you both powerful and attractive in a way that no act of kindness or pandering ever could. Develop the Stoic virtues: wisdom, courage, temperance. As you grow, you start to embody the Stoic virtues: wisdom, courage, and temperance. These virtues aren't just lofty ideals, they're the foundation of a life well lived. Wisdom isn't about knowing everything, it's about making the right choices. Courage isn't about fearlessness, it's about standing firm in the face of adversity. Temperance isn't about denial, it's about knowing your limits and living with moderation. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, you attract those who value these same qualities. You become magnetic to others who respect the Stoic principles of self, control, discipline, and growth. The best part? You do all of this not because you want to impress anyone, but because you understand that it's your duty to yourself to become better. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom. Seek fulfillment in the process, not the outcome. Here's the key. Don't seek external validation. Find fulfillment in the process of self, improvement itself. When you're working on becoming a better version of yourself, the approval from others becomes secondary. And let's face it, no amount of external praise will ever be as satisfying as the quiet confidence that comes with knowing you've done the work. In the end, it's about the journey, not the destination. The Stoics teach us that true happiness isn't found in what others give us, but in what we give to ourselves through our actions. When you prioritize your own growth, you unlock a fulfillment that others can't give you. It's a fulfillment that's deep and lasting. So stop being nice to women just to get their attention or approval. Be the man who doesn't need validation. Focus on your own development. Become better every day. Learn the Stoic virtues and pursue growth relentlessly. When you do this, you won't have to chase anyone's approval. It will come naturally because you'll be living a life rooted in purpose, discipline, and authenticity. That is the power of Stoicism. You must not just read the rules of Stoicism, you must live them. And in doing so, you'll find that you no longer need to seek anyone's validation. Instead, you'll attract people who value the same principles that make you strong. 6. Practice emotional control. Stop being nice to women. Stop playing by the rules that society has ingrained in you. Instead, embrace the ancient wisdom of Stoicism. The teachings of Epictetus and other Stoic philosophers are the key to winning in life, and especially in your relationships. Let me tell you something. Being nice, overly agreeable, and emotionally reactive will only make you weak and unattractive. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Stop reacting. Start mastering your emotions. If you want to dominate life, you must learn emotional control. Stop letting your emotions rule you like a slave. It's time to take charge. You must understand your feelings, not be controlled by them. This is what Stoicism teaches us. Emotional control is not about suppressing your emotions. It's about acknowledging them and taking deliberate action. In relationships, this is your ultimate weapon. If you're constantly driven by jealousy, frustration, or fear, you're only clouding your judgment. You'll make rash, impulsive decisions that can ruin everything. Master yourself. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control, said Epictetus. Your feelings are beyond your control, but your response to them is entirely in your hands. Let your emotions pass without controlling you. By doing so, you preserve your calm and clarity in any situation. You're no longer a slave to your impulses, but a master of your own fate. Emotionally controlled men are reliable, they are steady, and they are resilient. These qualities make you undeniably attractive to women. They sense the strength that radiates from you, and it's not just about attracting women, it's about winning at life. When you remain calm and focused, you make clear decisions, not decisions based on temporary, fleeting emotions. This inner peace makes you look like a leader, someone others can trust and depend on. And trust me, in life, people are drawn to strength. They admire those who exude control, stability, and inner power. These traits are what make you invincible. Don't let your emotions betray you. Don't let them take you down paths of self-doubt or instability. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." In relationships and in life, you want emotional control more than you want any fleeting satisfaction. Be steady. Be unwavering. This is the secret of Stoicism. This is the path to winning, in relationships and beyond. So you must practice emotional control every single day. Don't let your feelings dictate your actions. Instead, let Stoic wisdom guide you. Let Epictetus show you the way. By mastering your emotions, you win life. You win in your relationships. You win everything. This is how you become the man you're meant to be. If you found this valuable, comment below and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Comment to remember, I am the master of my emotions. This will help you engage with the content and embody the Stoic principles that lead to greater strength and success. 7. Cultivate the virtue of justice. Stop being nice to women. Do this instead. Tap into Old Stoic wisdom and adopt the principles that will fortify your life, relationships, and mindset. The truth is, being nice is an easy way to avoid confrontation, but it's also the quickest path to self-doubt and disrespect. Old Stoic wisdom teaches us that real strength is not about bending over backwards to make others happy or constantly apologizing for our needs and desires. No, the Stoic approach is about justice, the real kind. A strong man, an iron mind, knows that justice doesn't mean just being agreeable. It means treating others with fairness, respect, and integrity, no matter the situation. Justice in relationships is not about playing the part of the nice guy who sacrifices his own needs for the sake of keeping the peace. That's weakness masquerading as kindness. Instead, justice, as laid out by Stoic principles, calls for a stronger, clearer approach. Respect yourself first so you can truly respect others. This means setting clear boundaries. Don't just go along with what others want. Decide what is right for you and stand by it. Justice demands honesty, and honesty is not just about telling the truth. It's about being transparent in your actions, not hiding behind flattery or false pleasantries. If you say you'll do something, do it. If you can't, be clear about why you can't, and never promise what you cannot deliver. But here's the kicker. Justice isn't a power struggle. In relationships, whether personal or romantic, it's not about controlling the other person or trying to manipulate them to fit into your idea of how things should be. Instead, it's about collaboration. A just person strives to create an equal, mutually beneficial dynamic. A relationship built on Stoic principles doesn't revolve around manipulation. It revolves around respect and cooperation. A man with an iron mind doesn't see relationships as something to win or dominate. He sees them as partnerships where both sides are treated equally and with integrity. Moreover, justice requires recognizing the autonomy of the other person. It's not just about what you want. It's about respecting what they need too. It's understanding that everyone has their own life, desires, and boundaries. And when you respect that, it fosters trust, a cornerstone of any strong relationship. You can't force trust, and you can't manipulate it into existence. It has to be earned by showing consistently that you value the other person's autonomy and individuality. A Stoic man, guided by Stoic principles, knows that the foundation of any relationship, whether it's with a partner, friend, or colleague, is built on this respect and trust. So here's what you need to do. Stop focusing on being nice. Instead, focus on being just. Cultivate the virtue of justice in everything you do. Be clear about your intentions. Set boundaries and honor commitments. Respect the autonomy of others, acknowledge their individuality, and work towards mutual benefit. It's not about being agreeable. It's about being strong in your convictions and kind in your actions. Justice, as the Stoics taught, is the mark of a man with an iron mind, unshaken by whims or emotions, yet always striving for fairness and balance. Master this, and you will develop deeper, more authentic relationships that don't rely on being nice, but on being just, real, and true. 8. Understand that life is impermanent. Life isn't permanent, and neither are relationships. This is a hard truth, but it's one that men need to hear more often, especially when it comes to romantic relationships. You've probably found yourself attached to someone or something, trying to control the outcome, only to see it slip through your fingers. Here's the thing. Everything is temporary. Relationships, feelings, experiences, they come, they go, and trying to hold on too tightly only leads to frustration. That's where the wisdom of the Stoic principles comes in. The old Stoics understood this better than anyone else, and they weren't afraid to embrace the idea that life, in all its forms, is impermanent. You need to stop thinking that relationships are meant to last forever. Stop trying to control them or mold them into something they're not. The more you cling to the idea that someone or something will define your happiness, the more you set yourself up for disappointment. The Stoic rules teach you that relationships are opportunities for growth, not ownership. When you approach them with this mindset, you start living differently. You stop worrying about the future because you understand that nothing lasts forever, and that's okay. Life isn't about securing permanence. It's about enjoying the present without fear of what might come next. The sooner you realize this, the better off you'll be. If you're constantly searching for validation from a partner, or you're clinging to the idea that the relationship should define your worth, you're in dangerous territory. The old Stoic way of thinking is clear. Your happiness should never depend on someone else's actions or approval. That's a recipe for anxiety and disappointment. Instead, you must learn to value the relationship for what it is in the moment, not what you want it to become, and certainly not what it might become if you try hard enough. You must approach each relationship with awareness, knowing that it might not last forever. That doesn't mean you don't care. It means you stop trying to control every outcome. By understanding that life is impermanent, you free yourself from the fear of loss. You stop clinging to things you can't control. And in doing so, you open yourself up to experiencing love and connection without the anxiety that comes with always needing it to work out. When you accept that nothing lasts forever, it changes the way you experience love and connection. You can be present with someone without desperately trying to ensure it lasts. This awareness gives you patience. You begin to enjoy the relationship for what it is, not for what it could be. And when things end, because they inevitably do, you won't feel like you failed or that you're somehow unworthy. The Stoic principles teach you that the end of a relationship doesn't define you. It simply means that the time for that relationship has passed, and there's no need to hold on to it out of fear. This is the ultimate freedom, detaching yourself from the outcome and embracing each relationship with open arms, fully aware that it's temporary. When you do this, you stop anchoring your happiness to the success of the relationship. Instead, you experience the joy of connection without the need for permanence. The old Stoics didn't fear loss because they understood its inevitability. They lived fully in the present, accepting that everything, including relationships, would eventually change or end. And by doing so, they experienced life in its fullest form, unburdened by the anxiety of holding on to things that couldn't last. All right, that's all for today. If you found this video valuable and it gave you some new insights, make sure to hit that like button, share it with someone who could benefit, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with this Stoic approach, or do you have a different perspective on how we should interact with others? Feel free to drop your opinions or questions in the comments. I read every one of them and will be happy to discuss further. Thanks for watching, and remember, it's not about being nice for the sake of it. It's about doing what's right, what's authentic, and living with purpose. See you in the next video.